It's Conduit News Radio with Paul Harrell.
The program for the first time, I want you to meet Mr. Rocky Romanella. He is a business leadership expert, and he is the founder of 360 Management Services, LLC, former president of UPS. Rocky, welcome to the program this morning.
Well, thank you, Paul. It's a pleasure to be on with you and your audience.
Yes, sir. So, hey, first of all, tell us a little bit about 360 Management Services. The website is the number 3 and then spelled out 60managementservices.com. What are you hoping to accomplish with this?
Well, we have 3 legs of our stool here at 360. One is the keynote speaking, which I do and I thoroughly enjoy, and keeps me very busy and gives me the opportunity to meet some wonderful people. We have a leadership training portion, which is a lot of fun, and we talk about such important topics like why values matter, how to have those difficult conversations, succession planning, and those kinds of things, and basic supervisor leadership skills. And the third leg of our stool is a consulting piece of the business, and we really focus in on process improvement. How do you fix things, but then keep them fixed long term? And we really enjoy that. We enjoy working with small, medium-sized businesses. We feel like those are the types of companies that want us to get in and get out and make things happen quickly and effectively, and not park ourselves there for the next 6 months to a year. So we enjoy doing it. We enjoy helping small businesses, and it gives us an opportunity to maybe give back from all the things that we've learned over our careers. I've got over 40 years of business experience. Individuals in our team here at 360 all have over 25 to 30, 35 years of experience. So it's a lot of fun, and it gets me a chance to meet a lot of wonderful people.
I see that you have a book here entitled Tighten the Lug Nuts, The Principles of Balanced Leadership. And I know it's available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other places. What can you tell us about that book?
Well, to me, the book was written as I sat there and thought about, my career and the wonderful people I met along the way and the influences that I had. I mean, I think sometimes people believe the influences and the mentoring that happens along the way has to be from significant individuals in terms of titles and positions. For me, a lot of my mentoring came from people who I've met along the way, worked with. My dad, who has since passed, but was such a wonderful influence in my life growing up, and my wife, who has been such a great partner, friend, mentor for me along the way in my adult life, and then the many people along the way. So for me, it was a chance to sort of give back. And I believe leadership, and we're all leaders at one time or another, it's about legacy. Do you leave things a little better than you found them? Are people better because of their time with you? Are your customers better because of their interaction with your business? And so for me, I thought if I could kind of put that down on paper and write this kind of book, that maybe at the end of the book somebody tilts their head and says, oh, okay, it's a different way of looking at it, or maybe it can help me. And if any of those kinds of things happen, I feel like I'm giving back, and it's a chance for me maybe to leave a little bit of a legacy.
So if you're, and again, we're talking with Mr. Rocky Romanella, a business leadership expert. So, with someone who's got a career as, extensive as yours and accomplished as yours, and you talk to business owners and you're in the business world. What's some of the bigger concerns that businesses have today when it comes to government intrusion or government interference or government compliance?
Well, if you think about it, we're the freest country in the world with the most rules and regulations. It's unbelievable. I mean, if you really think about it. I mean, instead of fixing things, people just want to regulate things. And so as a small business, what you want to do is run your business. I want you to help me, but I don't want you to get in the way. I mean, I've got a good idea. I want to make it work. One of the things I learned, and I worked for a very large organization like UPS, but during my time at UPS, we purchased mailboxes, et cetera, and we branded to the UPS store, which was a direct report for me. But what it gave me was the opportunity to work with just tremendous individuals who are entrepreneurs. And I think what happens is that the biggest thing the significant event for me was that you realize that nobody's more all in than a small business owner. I mean, a small business owner takes everything they own in life, slides it across the table, and says, I'm all in. A company, when you work for a company or you're in a leadership position and you've never been an entrepreneur, you think you understand P&L, profit and loss. But nobody understands P&L like a small business owner, because at a small business, you hit the cash register at night, the drawer opens, you pay your people, pay your vendors, and what's left is what you bring home to your family. That's not what politicians understand. They just think it all comes together and it happens because they've never done any of those things. And what they don't realize is they're not being helpful to small businesses when they put in all these regulations. They're just making it more difficult. And so today, I believe in the small businesses that I work with, just give me a chance. Give me an opportunity. I'm not asking you to give me anything. I'm asking you to not get in my way and give me a chance to be successful.
So what do you think about the business attitude, the environment now? I know I've seen the photos of President Trump with the stacks of regulations that he's gotten rid of. I know he wants to get rid of more. And there are reports out there about, optimism and everything else. So how are things now, in your opinion, versus the last administration or even before that?
Well, I think the first thing you have to do is separate out style versus substance, right? So, you may not agree. I'm not saying you personally, but people may not agree with his style or his approach to things or all the Twitters and everything. Put that on the side for a second. Let's talk about the results. The results are he's freed up small businesses. People are hiring people. Wages are going to go up because you're going to have the opportunity to potentially move to another business that's paying more money because everyone's got wanted signs out there. And so either companies are going to say, hey, look, we want to retain some of the top talent out there, so therefore we're going to have to improve our compensation packages or maybe enhance our compensation packages, or we're going to risk losing those individuals. Well, now, more people are going to go to other companies, supply and demand. So when there's a demand for more workers, which is a great thing that's happening right now, and he's kind of unleashed the entrepreneurial spirit inside the United States, as well as allowed businesses to grow and develop, the worker now becomes, the person with a little bit of authority and opportunity because they have choices now. And I think that's wonderful. I think he's done a great job with his policies. He's a business person, right? A business person has no choice. Whether you're a very small business, one or two person company, or a very large organization with 300,000 employees, you still have to take the long view and a strategic view of things. And by his nature, he has no choice but to do that because that's what he grew up in. Mm-hmm. So I think he's going to position us strategically for growth. Look, I don't always agree with his style on things, but you know what? That's his right to do it. He's won the election. I'm very happy with the policies that he's implemented, though.
Yeah, me too. And like you said, the results speak for themselves. They really do. Again, folks, we're talking with Mr. Rocky Romanella, a business leadership expert, author of the book Tighten the Lug Nuts, The Principles of Balanced Leadership. And the website is the number 3, spelled out 60managementservices.com. I'm curious, we talked a little bit about small business, okay? And we can also talk about big business. I may not be a fan of, let's say, Amazon's Jeff Bezos and his politics, and, he owns the Washington Post. But, man, you have this socialist Bernie Sanders. I saw on the Hill last week. He's put out a bill that would make Amazon and other big companies have to pay extra into welfare programs. And the argument is, Rocky, that it's because they're not paying their workers a living wage. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I think, Paul, if you think about it, it really comes down to, let's chase the next shiny object. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. And so, Bernie can't, Bernie and his policies and the extreme left, you can't, there's no argument any longer. Yeah, there are more people working. There is optimism out there in the business world. So you can't criticize Trump for those things. So let's discuss other things, right? Let's discuss, Amazon. And does Amazon pay a living wage? You know what? If Amazon doesn't continue to improve its wages, well, I'm not saying it has a poor wage process. I mean, there's people waiting online to work at Amazon. When an Amazon warehouse shows up in your neighborhood, the line's out the door for people to work there. So I'm not. How many people sit around the kitchen table and say, I'm thinking when Amazon's going to open, I think I want to go work there because they're never going to pay us enough. It's going to be a terrible place to work. It doesn't work that way. But what happens is Bernie he's struggling with. He can't criticize Trump for anything other than tweeting and his personality or style. And so now let's go talk about this. Let's kind of shift the narrative. So, look, you know what? I would bet, I've never met you before, but I would bet you and I are similar in that. Look, we can disagree without being disagreeable. Hey, look, we're open-minded. We want the country to be better. We want people to be better. So tell me what you got, Bernie. Give me an example of the things that you want to do. I'm listening. Intuitively, I'm thinking I'm probably not going to go there. But if you can give me a good reason, a good argument, give me some credibility in what you're saying, I'm at least going to give you the courtesy as a human being, as a person, as an American, to listen. But everything he talks about, free tuition. All right, you want to have free tuition. I've had 4 kids go through college. Talk to me. I'd be okay with paying less on tuition. Then you go look and you find out that Vermont has the second highest state tuition in the country. Well, if you did something and show me, hey, look, in Vermont, everybody's going to school for free and they're getting a great education, you might win me over a little bit. But there's no credibility in what they do or say because there's no substantive action. I think that's where they lose everybody. And frankly, it makes sense, right? Because show me a place where socialism works. Show me a place where we're giving away everything for free.
Yeah, and a lot of what he's saying in this specific case, I think it kind of builds on the left's narrative that, hey, if we could increase the minimum wage to $15 an hour, it would make everybody more prosperous. And on that, I'd love for you to address that because here in the state of Arkansas, coming up this November, we have the option on issue number 4 to raise the minimum wage over the next 3 years to $11 an hour. And I think like the state of Washington is $11.50. So it's got a lot of small businesses very concerned here. What are your thoughts on the minimum wage? Does it really help low income people the way it claims to?
No, because what happens is that then organizations find ways. Okay, you forced me to pay $15 an hour as a small business, and yesterday I was going to hire 2 people at $10 an hour. But now, and pay $20 for the hour for the 2 people working. But now today, you're telling me it's $15 an hour. I'm just going to hire 1 person and find better ways through technology and do other things, or maybe put a full-time person and a part-time person on. At the end of the day, it's a math problem, right? I bring in this much revenue divided by, this much expense, and that's what I have left over. And so let the free market do that. Let the free market will do that because as we start to compete for individuals to come work in our companies, the only way we're going to do that is for us to provide a better wage, better benefit package, and entice people to come to work for our small business because we have the best small businesses. We treat people with dignity and respect. We let the free market do those things. Whenever you start to believe that you can mandate things, it doesn't work that way. It's just not. And what happens is the strength becomes the weakness. The strength of a small business owner is their creativity, their ingenuity, their desire to be successful. Well, okay, if you handicap me by telling me this is how much I'm going to have to pay, okay, I understand I have to follow the rules and regulations, but I'll find ways to still equal the fact that how much revenue I bring in, I'm going to spend less than the revenue I bring in. And the reason why they don't understand it as politicians is because they never run anything. They can't run water downhill, these people.
Rocky Romanella, I really appreciate you coming on. It's been great to meet you, and I want to tell everybody once again, the book is Tighten the Lug Nuts, The Principles of Balanced Leadership. You can get it on Amazon. You can also go to the y'all's website there, 360managementservices.com. Rocky, thanks so much for spending time with us this morning.
Well, Paul, it was a pleasure meeting you and speaking with the audience, and I hope some of the conversation we had was helpful to them and had shed some light on some of the issues that are going on. But I thoroughly enjoyed speaking with you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Me too. I'd love to do it again sometime. Folks, we're going to